Today's Savage Race is brought to you by Battle Bars. It's time to snack better. Fuel your fight with Battle Bars. Zero FG Energy Drink. Save your energy. We've got plenty. Up for Probiotics. Maximum daily digestive, immune, and overall health support to suit your individual lifestyle. And by Hoist. It's more than a drink. It's IV level hydration equipment that's water fighter tested and battlefield approved. All right, here we go. The women's field. Look at all these superstars.
This is the best of the best right here, Matt. Final race of the series. At the front, Kris Rugloski should have this locked up, but places 3 through 5 are just wide open.
So you see Jerine in there. We see Chrissy McFarland in there. We see Jamie Horianopoulos in there. There's Rachel Waters starting the second row. And off they go up the big hill.
Did I see a Rachel Corigliano in there?
And Rachel Corigliano was there along with her husband.
We haven't had her every race this year. It's nice to have her back. Is that Jerine holding on to Kris at the top of the first climb?
I believe that's Chrissy. I think we did this last time.
Chrissy, yes. That is Chrissy.
People get mad at me if I confuse.
There was a fog machine.
It wasn't an AC/DC concert. It was a water machine.
It was darn close.
Misting.
This is playing out very similarly to the men's side, except Kris broke away and we have a battle the next two rather than two breaking away and no one else on screen. That inverted wall slightly uphill is a nasty obstacle that does not look like much. There's just no momentum going when you hit that thing.
See that 10-foot wall in Mexico?
I did. I like that. And I misspoke. That's not an inverted wall, just that slight incline. Kris just rolling past the men's field. But hot on her tail.
Yeah, there's
a savage swim meet.
Now, we don't know what state Kris is in because we never understand what state she's in. She's constantly, by that I mean state of fatigue. She's racing so often, and this is like her 7th straight week of racing. But we just have to assume she's always hitting on all cylinders because she's that good. So Chrissy's having a phenomenal race hanging on to her.
And that's Jerine right behind her in third, and that's who we're seeing on this wall right now. This wall is inverted. You can't tell here, but it is leaning towards us, yes?
Yeah, and there's a bit of moisture having already gone through some water and running through the grass, so it's not a simple task today. I'm glad that guy got off there before he impeded her. Rugloski's lead is starting to stretch a little bit, but it's still only about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to guess like 12. She hopped off right when she was like halfway through there.
Now you see Kris in full flight, and there's no one in this field that's going to match that. So, Matt, how do you beat Kris at a savage race? What's it going to take?
Well, we would need the fastest women in the sport to show up, and one of them is hurt. That's Nicole, and the other couple, I don't think, have made their way to a savage yet, right?
Yeah, I think of all the women to have tried it already, she's probably the best one that keeps coming back. Nicole, I think we can give a pass to because she tore her ACL. There are legitimate excuses in the world, and that's one of them.
Yeah, these are kind of her races to lose this year.
Which gives her the luxury of racing without a care in the world. Some people, that's added pressure. Knowing I'm top dog here, the best thing I can possibly do is just match expectations that people have for me. She's kind of unencumbered by that. She just gets to get out there with a smile on her face and run with no cares.
Well, and she's kind of like Lindsay in that you never kind of really see her struggle. Like, she's kind of always got that kind of smiling face on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and we read into that everything's easy for those two.
Right. Even though it's not.
Yeah, and we just never know how deeply they are in it because they don't let you know. That is such a powerful racing ability to have, is to let no one inside the inner circle and find out how bad it is. Because then the competitors just always assume that it's going great. And that's demoralizing. She hasn't even got her eyes open yet, and she's back running.
Jarine's on the rig as well, third.
Yeah, like I would guess that this person, having no idea who either of these people are, this person looks a lot more tired than that other person, but it doesn't mean she is, right?
Correct. Yeah, Chris's disposition is a powerful tool as well. You start adding that together with her reputation of being able to have this freak recovery ability and not fade in races, Mexico notwithstanding. And it becomes, you're racing their aura as much as you're racing them. You're racing the legend of them. And it's tough to beat both on the same day.
I want someone to do that with me one time. Man, I'm chasing down the legend of Matt Davis.
Can't just beat Matt. You got to beat the Matt B.
She could definitely still make up because Chrissy's dominant too, but Jarine's dominant on rigs.
Klingberg still in third. Chrissy still charging ahead in second. Matt, we should clarify that when you said, and I don't know either of them, I don't know who this is, you were talking as a non-knowing observer. If you didn't know either, you'd assume Chrissy was having an easier job.
Kris Rugloski was having an easier job.
Correct. Sorry, I said Chrissy. But yes, we know who these athletes are. We were doing a little as if we didn't know.
Right. Well, I'm glad you said that for people who are tuning in late.
Yeah, because
why does it matter who these
watching? Chrissy McFarland is a mainstay of Savage Race. As is, I would say, Jerine at this point.
I want to do this venue. This looks like a fun Savage venue.
Oh yeah, if I had to do only one Savage Race of the series, it would be this one. Followed by either Pennsylvania or Maryland. It's hard not to take Georgia though, isn't it, Matt?
Well.
You know what?
She's like, I don't like that wall. Let's try this one.
And that's impressive. Going up and grabbing one-handed without losing the grip then when your body hits the wall is tough.
Right. It's like when you and I are playing one-on-one, and once in a while you'll one-handed jam on me just to remind me.
And I just hope you don't put two hands down over me on the next one.
Right, exactly.
Uphill walls really change the dynamic of that obstacle. I mean, it's a no-brainer thing, but we've seen real issues on the female side when they're uphill. Just the small little things you can do to change the dynamic of a course.
I just got to say, we cover a lot of obstacle races. I've been to a lot of obstacle races. This one is giving me FOMO. Just watching them, just the weather, watching them run up and down these hills. This looks like a fun day.
It's a bit reminiscent of OCR Worlds, but warmer.
Yes.
Seeing the green hills in the background, all the grass, the changing terrain. Still some spots to run, but definitely some spots to hike and some real descents, tough obstacles. This is kind of the all-encompassing OCR experience right here.
Let's go, girl. You're not out of this.
Jerine appears to still have a gap on fourth place. There's some logos you see on course and you just know they're going to be good. You see MIT, you see Noob Sanity, someone wears a Legend Born jersey, you see a Grit sports bra or tank top, and you just know that they're not going to be the people that get hung up on the obstacles most of the time.
I like that Jarine's name is really giant so that we don't get her confused with Chrissy, because we used to.
Well, when you get a grainy picture and from 30 yards away, they look similar enough as athletes that it's hard to tell.
All right, so
Up
now
close,
here
they're
come the
nowhere near the same. But
right now. So here we are, the women doing this rig. I think this rig needs its own name though, because it's pretty special. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but I know it's just Savage Rig. But especially that little pull out at the end.
it's like the over-under through of rigs. Constantly changing levels and having to engage differently. I really like it.
There you go.
It just
Lee,
forces full body engagement and it saps your strength.
I would say Lee, you have outdone yourself on this one.
In the red.
Yeah,
That's it.
well done, Lee.
Get this pole in the middle to another pole.
Savage will never be accused of being lazy with their obstacles. They're always finding new twists to put on things we've done before and show us things that we haven't done before. I like the way Kris moves through a course, not just as an athlete, but the way that she decides when and where to push and when to just think.
Swing to the big pipe.
Every move she made on this was a sustainable move. She never took a chance. She appraised the rig and moved through it in a very, very safe, manageable technique.
I would say if you could build this obstacle in your backyard, you would be prepared for any obstacle. It just works every single muscle
Yeah,
group.
probably. So that's all you have to do, ladies and gents. Build this obstacle.
There's Michael Garcia. A lot of AG wins, a lot of AG podiums for that guy, Spartan and Savage. Good dude in the community.
It's high praise.
Under barn doors, no dismount.
You get me with that every time.
I didn't do the cage voice. Figured it would be unprofessional.
Well, it's the, I
you
think
go.
it's the Andy Samberg as Nick Cage voice.
True. Chrissy's moving through well as well. Again, all these women have been around the OCR block enough. They know how to get through this type of thing. If this was your first Savage race, you'd be in trouble right here.
Wait, what the fuck is this? Oop, should have said that. What the heck is this?
I think we're on a 3-second delay.
I think we are too. We can catch that before it goes out to the network.
Yeah, the truck will get that. I like the finisher to this rig, Matt. You're right.
I mean, it's something.
Having to swing off the tire, grab that pole, and then change your body around and get back uphill. Takes some real power to actually do it.
There you go. Good job.
Top two are... Oh, and here, something has happened back here, Matt. Suddenly, here comes Ms. Crigliano, and I didn't catch who the other one was coming
That's
through.
Jamie. That's Horianopoulos.
Jamie's on that far side?
How you not? How you?
about
Oh,
that?
on the far side, right here. What that we're
Yeah,
looking
Jamie's
at.
right in front of us. 4, 5, 6 are all in a group here. No,
No,
Jamie's unmissable.
Yeah, Jamie, I was gonna say, Jamie and Rachel have been battling since Savage began.
Yes. But on the far side of the rig, I was watching Rachel come in. I don't know who's over there, but this is a 3-way battle. And all 3 still have podium in sight.
Oof, that was close.
That was. A lesser athlete would not have regained their grip right there. But she's starting up the other side.
Oh, did you see that? Let's get a little replay.
Look at that. You
Look at
ask and they
this.
deliver.
Look at this. She's like, more than one way to do this. Boop. No one else did that. Men or
Here I
women.
was thinking she was going up the wrong side. She had a plan.
Good job.
Nobody
Keep
else
it
did
up.
that, men or women. But if she hadn't almost falled, would she
I don't
have
know.
falled? Fell, would she have done that? Oh, I think that's Amy Pagic on the far side that you saw. I think that's who that was. On the far left, she appeared for a second. I think that was Amy Pagic. And that's Rachel Waters coming through now. So yeah,
Rachel's moving quick through here.
There you go, Rachel.
Or was. Everyone's slow at the bottom.
There you go.
It's a really good look at the different ways to get through this obstacle. None of them are fast.
Yeah, I mean, Kempson, I think, went through it relatively quickly.
Good job.
Yeah, and that's probably as good as you can do. On an obstacle like that, just not stalling out is a fast way through.
Oh, we almost forgot about Kris. Look, there she is.
I did not notice that barbed wire coming.
Oh, the old Rose Wetzel trick. Just run right into it.
There you go, Kris.
I watched that one
Over there,
live. That
Kris.
was a real impact that day.
What were you doing?
I'd finished. I'd raced there that day.
Oh, okay.
I got beat by Mr. John Yasko that day. It was always a pleasure to run into.
So I think we go from this into that final gauntlet, yeah?
Yeah, we do. And at this point, Kempson had just started to stretch Sean out a little bit, but Kris has done that about a mile ago.
Yeah,
Well, here's a little spot we didn't get to see on the men's side.
Well, we were behind in the cart. This is now, it looks like, I believe this is our cam gal, Emily. On the, yeah, look, I can tell by her shadow. That's her.
Look at you. She got that spinning with her hands there, Matt. That's grounds for DQ. Get her out of here.
I thought, I couldn't tell if she was getting it back to zero. I thought she was getting it back to zero, no? What do you call this pose? What is
I think
this?
she
What
was.
do you call this?
That's what Newell hit too. That's jujitsu right there. Get on the ground, breathe a little bit, get your feet up for defense. So apparently she's been rolling on the mats lately.
Do your kids do jiu-jitsu, or do you do it?
My kids do not, but soon. It's about time to start. That rope hung up on her twice. That's an abrupt. Look at her returning it to the start. She didn't have to do that. That makes up for whatever did or didn't happen starting that obstacle.
That's probably what that was. Look at M. Look at the shadow of M Angel there. Galloping through. She cut her teeth at Hildervat and OCRWC. Now she's a pro at catching these athletes.
Yeah, if you can rabbit at Hildervat, you're set. Anywhere else.
Those crazy beach days at Hildervat. I almost said RIP Hildervat, but I don't think they're gone yet. RIP giving away a lot of money, though.
No, I think that they're going to get back. Just got to fight out with Extreme Nation for who's going to make it first.
And there it is. Kris wins this race and wins the first ever National Savage Series.
Interesting here. We have a OCR World Championship 15K winner. And I believe, Kris, did she podium at just the 15K, or did she podium both at OCR Worlds last year?
I want to say it was just the long one.
Okay, so both 15K World Championship podium winners are the series winners here. So again, if you want to be ready for OCR Worlds in the fall, this Savage Series, these races are the ones you need to get at to prepare yourself.
I actually hadn't put that together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, where else are you going to get at high-level obstacles like
Dreams
this?
in second now. Chrissy in third. Come on, you guys got this.
So that's Chrissy sat down already, pedaling away. Here's Jerine. Getting way under it. Getting that leverage.
Yeah, she's definitely under there. She's still... Oh, she's going backwards. That's why. Her feet are in the middle, and she's doing it reverse.
I've never seen this.
Look at 2 feet at the same time for a little bit there. It just looks slower, but she seems happy enough to be using that technique.
Who knew we'd learn a new format for Pedal for the Metal today.
I'd like to get a time on
Chrissy,
both
you
of
got
those.
it.
When we finish this, I might just scroll back through here and watch it again and time it.
That's a significant cash prize difference
Button.
in whoever finishes second here. So today,
You know what I want someday, Matt?
What does that
Savage
say?
Ultra. Savage Ultra.
Just one venue. Just
Yeah. Because a technique like that might come into play there. You're pushing away with your hamstrings rather than pulling like you've been doing all day running up and down these hills. That in an ultra could be a game-changing tactic. We haven't seen a lot of people re-grab here, but she's doing it relatively smoothly.
Rather than the monkey swing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit more secure way in this gap.
She almost ran into Chrissy accidentally.
She did.
Well, Jerine, if she makes it over the cheese here, coming in second means she's second in the series. Her and Chrissy were, I believe, tied or 1 point apart, and so this race is valued more. So
Chrissy
she comes
had
in
her for 5 miles of a 5.1 mile course. Wow, Jerine closed hard. What a finish for her.
Yeah, great job, Jerine.
Kept herself in contact for long enough to make a move right at the end.
It's awesome.
Is Kris already gone on her volunteer shift?
Yeah, or headed to another race.
Exactly.
And Chrissy's third.
Oh, it's a tough finish, but at the same time, a really good finish for Chrissy.
Yeah, and she finishes third in the series. Oh, there's Kris. There's Kris and Chrissy.
Spring.
That was a hard-fought battle for those two women there.
And there she is, OG Jamie.
Not a bad showing by her either, and showed us a little something extra on that obstacle dismount.
Yeah, I think she might be fourth in the series, fourth or fifth. We'll have to look at the totals.
Ken's out here, which means Rachel should be coming through.
Good call. It's like you're a Nostradamus.
Someday, Matt, if you could just be the Nostradamus of this generation.
Oh, awesome. Rachel's up there.
Who's on there?
It's
And those two women both started doing Savages with different last names.
That the sport is bringing couples together.
Right?
I don't know if that's how they meant it.
Rachel and Air Force Ken, I think it absolutely is how they met.
Is it? And Jamie?
Oh, and look at Amy Pagic. Coming in
Sprinting
sixth.
with Michael Garcia.
Look at that. Thanks, Truck. Thanks, OCR Truck, for that.
Good job, Amy, not letting him pass. Rachel's had a bit of everything this year.
She really has.
At least she got an overall win. Now a 7th year.
And here you go, Kris running away with it. 3 minutes on Jerine and Chrissy.
And Chrissy earned 3rd place the hard way. She is the only one that went out after Kris Rugloski. And at the very end, she paid for it. And that's a gutsy way of running, and it makes for a well-earned 3rd place because everyone else just said, Kris is Kris, let her go. And Chrissy McFarland did not do that.
Yeah, I feel like Jerine done a lot of Spartans, or have we only seen her at Savage?
I haven't recognized her on many Spartan podiums. And she took care of business today. Chrissy swung for the fences. Jerine went out there and took care of business. And I think both women should be rewarded for the tactics they chose on the day.
I was going to have you say that again, but I think it's fine.
I could say that again.
I wanted to wait till we get the screen up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have you say that again.
Okay.
As I'm pulling this up. All right, go ahead. Say that again.
Both Jerine and Chrissy went about their business differently today. Chrissy went out and swung for the fences, and Jerine went out to take care of business in the most manageable way possible. And they both are to be rewarded for that. Jerine took care of business, accomplished her goal, and gets 2nd place and moves up the point series. So obviously that was the right move. But Chrissy is to be rewarded for going out and trying to push Kris because no one's been doing that this year.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out here, Rachel in 5th. Rachel, I think that was her worst finish of the year, but she's done well enough that she still made that 5th spot on this point series. And remember, we did not see Marina Kilpinski, who will definitely be in this series next year. So we're going to see some battles in this thing.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be an awesome 2023. We had Chris's coming out party this year, but the rest of the women all got a taste of, I think I can be that top 3 person next year overall.
All right. How do you want to wrap it up? You want to go back to just the two of us and say, thanks for watching, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Been a great series.
So let's get some final thoughts on this first ever Savage Pro Point Series.
Listen, they did it. They talked about, should we do this? And they did it. And that is always the biggest obstacle in putting on a race series with payouts and different points calculations, is actually pulling it off. And they pulled it off.
Yeah, I got to say, I loved it. We were excited for it, doing it all year. We weren't sure how it was going to shake out the way, format wise, and maybe there's some changes in the off season. Maybe there isn't, but I thought it went great.
Yeah. And what it did is it brought fresher blood into every race. Most of the people who did this series have done a race or two. Some were new, but they showed up each time. And that made for such exciting races, because other than the leader, no one wants a blowout. And even some of the leaders don't want to blow out. They want to be tested out there. So it was very, very rewarding to see Savages gamble on a series payoff, and that they had top ranked talent at every race throughout the year.
Well, listen, Bracken, it's a pleasure doing this with you, and I appreciate having you as my partner on this.
All I can hope is that we get to do it again next year.